Hey guys, this is Dr. Corey from Canyon Lake Chiropractic and Physical Therapy. And today I'm going to talk about the power clean, the RDL, and the back squat, and how to perform these lifts correctly and safely, and also show you some of the common faults that we tend to see.
So first you'll notice that my lumbar spine is flexed and my back is rounded, and I have no engagement of my upper back. When you don't have that type of engagement, you're just setting yourself to increase your risk of injury. So you'll notice on example number 2, I have my upper back engaged in a more neutral spine, but as I'm coming to the top, I overextend at the lower back. That's not necessary. When you come to that top position, you want to engage the glutes by squeezing them as hard as you can and bracing the core. To perform the RDL correctly, you'll notice that I have my upper back engaged, I keep a neutral spine. I'm also activating my lats, so I'm actively pulling that bar against my shins and I maintain that position through the entire movement. I'm sending my hips back, feeling all the tension in the hamstrings and glutes, and then when I return to the top position, I squeeze the glutes and embrace my core. Now from the view you're getting, it's hard to tell what the fault is, but it looks like that I'm losing my center of gravity and my mass is starting to fall forward. That's gonna put more leverage on the lower back, which potentially could injure the lower back if the load is too high. Now I know everybody's seen this person in the gym just doing half squats or quarter squats. Don't be that guy or girl. So in this third example, there's actually 2 faults that I see. On the first squat, you'll notice in the bottom position, I start to fall forward, so my center of mass changes, but you'll also notice that my pelvis tucks under and I get what's called a butt wink. A butt wink is when the lumbar spine actually flexes in that bottom position, so you're losing spinal integrity, and if you have too much load on your back, that can potentially cause an injury. On the second squat, a common fault is what's called a stripper squat, and that is when the hips rise before the rest of the body, and it looks like you're kind of doing this twerking action. Puts more leverage on the lower back, which potentially could hurt it. To perform the back squat correctly, before you even lower the weight, you're gonna take a breath in through the belly, so you're gonna cause your diaphragm to expand. You're gonna hold that breath, kind of like if I was to punch you in the stomach, how you would brace. You're gonna maintain that position. You're gonna disengage the hips, send them back a little bit to create a hole, and then you're just gonna drop down, opening up the hips, making sure your knees are tracking over your toes, making sure you're hitting depth, which is at parallel or the hips below 90 degrees if you have the mobility, and then you're gonna drive out of that bottom position, squeezing the glutes and hamstrings as hard as you can, coming to that top position. Now the power clean is my favorite movement. What you'll notice is when I receive the bar in that front rack position, I don't have my elbows facing forward. When you form this movement, you want to get your elbows facing forward as high up as you can, so that bar is basically sitting on the tops of your shoulders. This position actually puts a lot of strain on the wrists. So in bad form 2 of the power clean, it's actually pretty decent. An Olympic lifting coach might find some things that I can improve on. But anyways, you'll notice how I engage kind of my upper back and lats, and that's to create stability before I even start the movement. Then once I explode up and catch the bar in that front rack position, you'll notice how my elbows are higher up and more facing forward. That bar is resting comfortably on my shoulders. And people who have difficulty getting into that front rack position tend to be tighter in the lats or lack thoracic mobility. So if that's an issue for you, that's something to improve on.